welcome to this week's episode of Keys to the Market. I am your host, Ayanna Hawkins with Simple Realty, based out of the Phoenix, Arizona market. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to interview myself. So get prepared for hopefully some information as well as a couple laughs and just me being a part of your day. So let's get to it. All right. So first, um, can I tell my viewers a little bit about myself and my experience in the real estate industry? Absolutely. So I got into real estate around 2017. This was after realizing that there was no way I could do a 9 to 5 and be a homeschool mom at the same time. So I had to figure something out, some way that I could contribute to my household's income. So I was able to find real estate. I've been in customer service forever. Ever since a teenager. I started out my very first job. I worked as a dishwasher, worked my way up to being a server. I'm not going to say a waitress, but a server. And then, of course, I did the round of what do you call them? Fast food restaurants. Went into the military when I was 18, actually 17. Spent 4 years there and was in customer service when I was in the military. I was actually a postal clerk. Got out, went right back to the hustle and bustle of the regular world, and then decided this kind of wasn't for me. I was a serial entrepreneur right after I got out of the military, so I tried a few different things. They didn't quite work out. I just couldn't find my groove. And then eventually, my husband actually suggested it. It was something we were going to do together. And then it just turned into a thing that it was where I found my community. I found my voice. I found my purpose because I really do love helping people. So to help them in the biggest way, and that's purchasing a home, that's major for me. So I hopefully am going to be here for the long run. All right, so let's talk about my actual market and what makes it out as a desirable place for people to want to live. So when we moved out here to Arizona about 5 years ago, and this was having to start completely over from scratch. Never been to this area before. The closest we had been was Flagstaff, and that's about a 4 hour drive from here. So we're down in what's called the Valley. We ended up moving to what we thought was Queen Creek. Turns out it was Santan Valley, which was actually absolutely fine for me. I love that area. And then when we decided to buy, we moved a little bit further south to Florence, and that's where we now are sitting and calling our home. I love it here. I promise you, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I may trade the drive, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love my neighbors. I love the sense of community here. I love that it's a small town feel. But if I really want to get the hustle and bustle of the city, it's just an hour drive, north or south. So I'm good with that. I'm completely okay. It was something that was still affordable for us. So that was major as well. It was being able to find a house that we can enjoy and afford. So I'm absolutely excited about where I live now, and I'm still learning the area for sure. It's been a year, so we know a lot of what's going on. We know a lot of where to go. Um, so it's kind of nice to be able to be excited about where I live and hopefully, get more people here. Because I actually would love to see this place grow into something amazing. So let's talk about some of the listings that we have here at Simple right now. So I actually just closed on a rental property, not closed on a rental, but had a rental property that hit the market. We are now getting ready to get that leased out here in about a week. We have a couple of custom log homes up north. One is in Springerfield, one is in Eager. They are beautiful homes. So if you want the information about those, I'll make sure I put them in the description. We also have a pool home that's over in Johnson Ranch, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump here from Florence. That one is listed by my team member, Miss Casey Clark. If you're looking for a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with a pool in Johnson Ranch, we've got one for you. And then we also have a condo listed up in Scottsdale. So that one is below the 400,000 price point. So if you're looking for an investment property, or if you're looking for something just that's less expensive in Scottsdale, we've got that for you as well. So what are some current trends that we're seeing in our market, particularly in the Florence market? We're starting to move a little bit. So right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of the resales are having to compete with the new builds. Thank goodness for interest rates coming down, because now that gap is starting to close a little bit, because builders are coming down on the incentives that they're offering, and sellers aren't having to offer as much incentive at this point. So it's definitely a weird space in the market, but it's functional. So if you're looking again for something that's brand new, never lived in before, you're getting really good deals on that right now. And if you're looking for something that's already established, you're still getting good deals right now. We're in a slight seller's market, meaning that the sellers still kind of have a little bit of the power, but they're sitting on the market a little bit longer. So the longer the home sits, of course, the more that kind of swings to the buyer's direction. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for that ready-made move-in home, you will likely find it here because the homes here are so much newer than other places in the area. And then, like I said, the prices are considerably lower right now. You can get a 3.2 here in this area, brand new, for closer to 300,000 than you would say in Gilbert or Chandler or even Mesa. You may get one in Mesa, but it may be an older home. So if you're looking for something that's newer, this is probably where you want to go. Between here, maybe Coolidge. If you really want to go to the rural areas of Pinal County, you got Eloy, you got Arizona City. And then we are very close to Casa Grande. So again, that's another big city, deceptively big city. That's fairly close to us. It's within a 20, 30-minute drive, depending on where you want to go there. So you got options. And that's, I think, what really, if I had to bounce back to that tip, that's what makes us such a good place to want to consider, is because we're close to all these places, but you still can be out of the way. And I love it. So, homes in our market, what are some unique features or attractions that set them apart? Um, just the newness. I think that's probably the most unique feature about the homes here. Now, there is a historic part of Florence that is closer to downtown Florence, but if you're going to like the outskirts here at Merrill Ranch, Anthem Merrill Ranch, Magic Ranch, Magma Ranch, some of these places are newer, so the homes are going to be built probably in 2000 or later, as opposed to a home that was built in 1946. That's what you'll find in Mesa. That's what you'll find in Phoenix. So if you want something that's newer and there's an abundance of them, then Florence is probably going to be where you want to come. If I had to say something that sticks out to me at the homes here, generally speaking in Arizona, I'm gonna just speak on that. Generally speaking in Arizona, something that is unique to me coming from Florida/Georgia is the lack of a bathroom door. Now, they do have them. I'm not going to say they don't. They definitely do. But more likely than not, you're going to find where your primary bedroom just goes right into the bathroom and there's no door. There's a little archway that's really, really pretty, but there's usually not a door there. So then you have to consider, do you want to leave that just open, or do you want to maybe put a barn door there? Do you want to turn it into a door? So that was very interesting when I moved out here. That was something I had to get used to. Now it no longer even phases me, but it definitely did when I first moved out here. What type of properties are in high demand? Well, here in Florence, you don't have a whole lot to choose from. You can either do manufactured home or you can do a single family home. You are very unlikely going to find a condo or a townhouse. You'll find duplexes in historic Florence. They do have some duplexes there. So if you're looking for that as an investment opportunity, they definitely do have some. Again, they're not a whole lot of them, but they are there. But if you're looking single family, there's a lot of single families out here. We don't have any build to rent homes as of yet. That may be subject to change. At this point, I don't think we need them. So right now, yeah, single family homes, manufactured homes, you'll find those all day out here. The manufactured homes more than likely will be in an active adult community. So again, a lot more likely than not, you're going to get a single family home if you purchase or rent here in Florence. Are there any particular areas or neighborhoods that the buyers are targeting? No. Yes and no. So, like I said, for the most part, we have three main subdivisions. Okay. We have Anthem at Merrill Ranch, which is a mini city in itself. We have Magic Ranch, which is just up the road. We have a Magma Ranch, which is to me more South Santan Valley than it is Florence. So if you see it on the map, you'll know exactly what I mean. Because it's definitely closer to them than it is to us per se. But that is a part of this neighborhood, and they're building there. They're still building at Magma. They're still building at Magic, and they're still building here in Anthem. Anthem is getting bigger by the day. It is ridiculous. Um, and then there's actually LGI over in, I call it Old Florence. Again, if you look at a map, you'll know what I mean. So Old Florence has LGI. They're building right now. DR Horton is actually getting ready to build a new community that's coming up in the next few months. over in Old Florence as well. So there will be some newer homes going over in that area. But if I had to say where people are targeting, probably Anthem at Merrill Ranch is the number one choice. Reason being, it is the one neighborhood here that kind of has everything you need. So I live in this neighborhood, so I can speak on it from that aspect. We have the golf course here. We have a couple of actual restaurants here. We have the Poston View Grill. We have Valentino's, which is an Italian restaurant. We also have Chin's, which is a Chinese restaurant. And of course, that's about all you got. Now, if you want to get something else, you can go into Old Florence. They've got some restaurants there that are amazing. And then you can go either down to Coolidge or up to Santan Valley and Queen Creek and grab you something to eat and then head back home. We have our own grocery store here. We have a Safeway that is attached to the community. We just got a Circle K, so we have a gas station. We have two gas stations out this way. We have an amazing amenities center. We have an Olympic style pool. We have a couple splash pads. We have a family pool. We have a water slide in our neighborhood. We have every pocket neighborhood has its own park. So there's like 40 parks in this neighborhood. If you ever you can't possibly get bored. You get bored at one park, you just go to another neighborhood and go to theirs. So you can't get bored. And then we have the active adult side, and they have a whole nother world over there. I've been told if you live on that side and you get bored, something is wrong with you because they always have something going on. And our HOA does a very good job of keeping activities for us as well. So there's usually something happening. You can literally live in the community center because they have so much. Oh yeah, and we have a gym. And we have an indoor basketball court. We have an outdoor basketball court. We've got pickleball courts. We've got a volleyball court. We have, if you're looking for it, we probably have it here in Anthem. So that's what makes it such a desirable place to live. Honestly, it was one of the reasons I moved out here. If I had to move in the middle of nowhere, I needed to have stuff, and Merrill Ranch was the neighborhood that actually gave it to us. So, what kind of buyers am I seeing? Generally speaking, I'm seeing some of everything. So in the last year, I have serviced cash buyers, I have serviced first-time buyers, I have serviced veterans, I have serviced investors, I've serviced families that were moving from one home to another. So I'm seeing a little bit of everything. More so first-time buyers than anything else, because I think that's just where the market is right now. If you're in a home, especially if you bought one in the last couple of years, you have no reason to move unless something happens and makes you move. If your interest rates are 2 to 3%, why would you leave that and go to something at 7%? Something had to make it happen. So right now, first-time buyers are definitely what I'm seeing. A lot of my comrades are seeing that as well. So that's just kind of where we are. Are there any misconceptions about my market that I'd like to address? Yes. I live in Florence, Arizona. Florence, Arizona is known for its abundance of prisons out this way, but I still don't feel unsafe at all. We've actually been labeled by neighborhood scouts recently as one of the safest cities in Arizona. Um, like I said, I've lived here for a little over a year now. And if I had to say, what do I see the police go through here? I don't really see them stop. We have a lot of traffic stuff that happens, but that's just normal. The more you got a bunch of teenage drivers out here, so definitely gonna see that. But I don't see a whole lot of like crazy. You're gonna see that in the news. You're gonna see that happening in other cities. Um, it's hometown feel, like it's small town hometown feel, and you feel that when you're here. You're gonna see a sheriff on every other corner. So it's not a whole lot of bad stuff going on in Florence right now, and I hate that we have that misconception that it can't possibly safe here because you have so many jails here. Well, ideally, if I get out of jail, I don't want to be in a place where I was just in jail. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So um hopefully that's something that we can break and let the world know that, hey, this place is as safe as they come, if not safer. We are the number one safest city in Florence. Do I have any upcoming events? Actually, yes. So coming up pretty soon, I'm going to be hosting an event on what it looks like to purchase a manufactured home. That is a process in itself that is very different from purchasing a single family home. And I just want to make my buyers more aware of it so that they know what they're walking into when they get to that and they decide this is the route we want to go. Just know that you have someone who understands that process and that wants you to be able to understand that process in the event that you choose a different realtor that is not me. that you can actually say, hey, this is something that I learned. Can you educate me on that? That's what I want to do. So that should be coming up here within the next month. And that will be a webinar. So you'll be able to watch that at your own convenience. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out. What does a typical day in the life of Ayanna Hawkins look like? I'm usually doing a lot of my own admin work. I have not got to the point where I feel comfortable enough to release that information or that work to someone else. So I'm doing a lot of that. I'm hands on with all of my clients. So I'm the one you're going to be working with from day one to day 31, and then some. So I am your agent from here to there and then everywhere. I'm boots on the ground. So from the time we meet to the time we close and then after, I'm right there for you the entire time. So that takes up a lot of time. And then I'm still a mom, I'm still a wife, so I still have to run a household. And so I've got a daughter that's a volleyball player. She's starting to do more of that, so that's taking up a good bit of time there. Um, I have a just over teenage daughter. She definitely takes up some time as well. And I have a teenage son. He actually does not take up a lot of time. But I love having conversations with him and just seeing him grow into the young man that he is becoming. So my days are very, very different from day to day. Today is going to be a complete different thing from tomorrow and then some. So there is no typical day in my life. I'm gonna just put it that way. There's no typical day. So, what do I want to tell you guys about Florence before I leave and why you want to move here? So, again, we have a very, I don't want to say unique market, but I will say this. If you're moving from a small place to a small place, you want to know the small place that you're moving to. I moved from a small place in Florida, moved to a small place in Arizona. That is Florence. So that actually means a lot to me. It means a lot that I can grow my children up in an area where a lot of the people that they see today, they're going to see in the next few years. Because, yes, in this area, we do see a lot of people coming in. We see a lot of people that are leaving, but there are also even more, a higher amount of people who have made this home. So that's a lot. That means a lot to me. Again, we don't have a whole lot here, but you're a hop, skip, and a jump from anywhere where you need to go, except the airports. Now it's an hour to an airport either way. There is one in Mesa. That's probably 30, 40 minutes from here. So you can do that. You're 58 miles from Sky Harbor. You are 77 miles from Tucson International. You're right in the middle. You have your choice of which one of those you want to go to. We have a lot of events throughout the year. Next month, we have a historic home tour that's coming up every month, twice a month, we have a farmers market. There's a music fest coming up in a couple months. Country Thunder will be here in April. They're here every April. And that's a good time for some of the home buyers to take advantage of that incoming influx of people in traffic as well. We have a Cinco de Mayo event in May. In the summertime, we've got the Freedom Fest. We've got casino nights. We have the Junior Parada rodeo that happens at the end of the year. We have a holiday event in December. So there's always something to do here. We have a bunch of parks. Like I said, if you can't find one of the 50 parks in Merrill Ranch, there's another 4 or 5 in Old Florence. So you can go over there. We don't have a lot of people as of yet. We still have under 30,000 people. So if you're looking for a place that's not super populated, here we are. Our sales tax is still fairly low. It's only at like 2% for the town. And that's pretty cool. There's a lot of historic value here. It is one of the I don't want to say oldest cities in Arizona, but it's a part of the National Registry of Historic Places. So there's a reason for that. So if you're looking for, you're a history buff, this might be a place where you want to settle in. There's plenty of things to do outdoors outside of going to a park. Florence has its own water park. Over there, there's like I said, a bunch of parks. There's dog parks, pickleball courts. You can go hiking. You can go golfing because we do have a golf course here that is open to the public. You can even go dirt biking. There's a lot of that happening out here as well because we got a lot of dirt. So there's plenty to do. The weather's always on point. We don't get as much rain as everybody else for some strange reason. We watch it rain everywhere, but it don't rain a whole lot, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'm absolutely okay with that part. So yeah, if you're considering moving to Arizona, keep Florence on your list. There's reasons and reasons for going and not going. But I think you'll find more reasons why you should at least consider it. Definitely so. If you don't consider it for any other reason, consider it because of me. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me and taking time out of your busy schedules to sit with me and my rant. But again, if you're looking to move anywhere in the valley, I have sold homes from here to Buckeye, all the way down to Sierra Vista. And I take the time to learn these areas so I'm not just throwing you to the wolves. I will find out what you need to know about that area. So if you're looking for a realtor who really absolutely has your best interest at heart, who's on your team, give me a call. Ayanna Hawkins with Simple Realty. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day. See you next week. Bye.